Hi grade 4s and welcome to your English lesson for today. Before we start today's lesson, we are going to do corrections for Tuesday's activities. Corrections for Tuesday's activities. So in your work pack, under Tuesday's work, you had to answer the following questions based on the text above, the article about the greenhouse effect. Number 1 says, rewrite the following points in order. So you had to arrange these sentences in the correct order. So E goes first, fossil fuels are burnt. Then is C, gas is released into the atmosphere. Then is B, the gases form an invisible layer called the greenhouse wall. Then is D, the layer traps heat in the atmosphere. And lastly, it's A, the surface of the earth gets warmer. Then number 2 on page 13 of your work pack says, read the two articles again. And the two articles we are referring to are the two articles shown on the screen. The first article was done on Monday and is about fossil fuels, and the second article was done yesterday on Tuesday, which is about the greenhouse effect. A says, in what way are they the same? So this is the first article about fossil fuels, and this is the second article about the greenhouse effect. In what way are these articles the same? And your answer is, both articles speak about the greenhouse effect, or the warming of the earth, as well as fossil fuels. Question B. In what way are they different? So the first article is about fossil fuels, and the second is about the greenhouse effect. This is how they are different. The second article tells us more about global warming, which is the heating or warming of the earth, and the greenhouse effect as compared to the first article. The first article introduces the greenhouse effect, but the second article is about the greenhouse effect and tells us about it. So the first article simply introduced the greenhouse effect in one sentence, but the second article, the entire article is based on the greenhouse effect. And lastly, the second article also mentions the importance of trees and plants in keeping the planet cooler, which was not mentioned in the first article. So this is how they are different. Then you had to complete the language activity on page 17 of your work pack. It says, number 1, what is a simile? So a simile describes something by comparing it with something else, using the words like or as. For example, I am as busy as a bee. Number 2, what is a metaphor? A metaphor is when we call one thing by another name to describe what it is like, without using the words like or as. For example, you are my sunshine. Number 3, fill in the missing words. A, the child was as sick as a dog. So your answer is dog. B, the earth is like a ball in space. And C, are the sentences above metaphors or similes? And you need to explain why. So they are similes because they are comparing one thing to another using the words as or like. Number 4. Lucy is a rock. A. What does the sentence mean? Explain in your own words. And your answer is, it means that Lucy is strong. This is because she is being compared to a rock, and rocks are known to be strong objects. B. B. Is it a simile or a metaphor? Why? It is a metaphor because a metaphor is when we call one thing by another name to describe what it is like, without using the words like or as. Number 5. Write your own sentence with a simile. Here are some examples of sentences with a simile. Those shoes sparkle like diamonds. I am as hungry as a bear. The tire was as flat as a pancake. Now let's complete question 6. Question 6 says, write a sentence with a metaphor. Here are some examples of sentences with a metaphor. The snow is a white blanket. Her long hair was a flowing golden river. Life is a roller coaster. Now let's begin with today's work. So on page 22 of your work pack, you will find the language work that you are required to complete. It says, complete the following work in your language books. Prepositions. Read and recap on prepositions below, then copy the notes into your language book. Prepositions are the words that show position in space and in time, and the relationship between two things. For example, the cat is in the box, so the word in is a preposition. It is showing us the position of the cat. The cat is on the table. The word on is a preposition telling us where the cat is. And the cat is beside the dog. The word beside is a preposition. The activity is based on prepositions. Number 1 says, get the learners into line. Read the following and then write the learners' names in order from front to the back. Write names one below the other, and next to the numbers, write the names. And then it says, Brittany is in front of Zola, Rani is next to Tasneem, Kyle is behind Zola, and nobody is in front of Jack. Tasneem is in front of Cindy, but Brittany is behind Cindy. So, boys and girls, this is what you need to do. You need to write the numbers from 1 to 7 because there are 7 learners, and you need to put them in order. So, for example, if you think that Tasneem is right at the front, you will put her next to the number 1. So our numbers 1 to 7 is actually from front to back. So number 1, the child whose name is next to number 1 will be the child right at the front, and the child that is number 7 will be the child that is right at the back. So you need to read these sentences carefully in order to help you to find out which child is in which part of the line. You can do this question in pencil first and then ink your answer when you are sure of your answer. The clue here is that nobody is in front of Jack. So when nobody is in front of you, it means that you are actually right at the front. Because when you are right at the front of the line, nobody is standing in front of you. So we know for sure that Jacques will be number 1. And from there you can work your way through the rest of the numbers. Number 2 says, fill in the missing prepositions. And you need to read these sentences and fill in an appropriate preposition. Your language activities continue on page 23 to 24 of your workpack. These activities cover all of the work you have done so far in your language. Please refer to your workpack to guide you as to the activities you need to complete for today, which is Wednesday. So this is the end of our lesson for today. Until our next lesson, goodbye learners.